CNN lies about 4chan. It's been a while since I've debunked CNN, but I thought it was high time. Here we have a video on the YouTubes called How 4chan and 8chan Became Homes for Racism and Hate. It was posted by CNN Business by a Mr. John Sarlin. As you can see, it has 4,000 dislikes and a mere 200 likes, so clearly people didn't like it. Comments are turned off. They clearly could not handle the heat. They could not handle the criticism. Here in the description it says 4chan and 8chan are hotbeds for racism, sexism, and nationalism, blah blah blah. CNN's John Saylor explains how the site became what they are today and why there's no excuse for what's on them. So first of all, I think they're defaming the website. I think they're lying, and I feel like somebody has to call them out. But before we begin, a quick word from this week's sponsor.
Zuck the cuck drinks water like a duck, but he also drinks your data. So tell him and Google to shove your data up their schwing-schwangs by downloading the Brave browser. It's free, blocks online advertising, and protects your privacy and data from evil tech companies. You only see ads if you want to see them, and you get cryptocurrency for your attention. Don't let Zuck use you to make a buck. Download Brave by clicking on the link down below.
Now, let's start.
There's no question anymore. 4chan and 8chan are hotbeds for white nationalist terror.
Citation needed. You know, I've always found this claim that 4chan is a place of bad people who wish to do harm. I mean, why don't we go to 4chan? You see, 4chan's actually a place of a lot of different boards. Anime and manga, Flash, video games, technology, automobiles. Here, for example, is the papercraft and origami. You see this jet fighter here? This jet fighter is made of paper, but it can fly through the air. Potentially, some thumbtacks could be attached and dropped onto unsuspecting civilians. Clearly, this is an act of war. Oh, those origami men. Those origami men, how could they be allowed to be here? Look at this dangerous material, friends. Absolutely dangerous. And then we have the cooking and food board. It's a place for recipes. It's a place for food. It's a place for what diet will give me a body like hers. As you can see, it's a highly scientific and science-oriented board, and I enjoy learning about recipes and delicious food. Anyway, you know, I just can't help but feel they're ignoring what makes 4chan 4chan. There's different boards with different people. Here a user asks, otherwise known as an anon, can cats eat salami? Truly disturbing.
Going to these websites, if you're an outsider, can be kind of dizzying. The look of it resembles the internet of more than a decade ago. And even if you're used to seeing offensive content pop up on Twitter or Facebook, it's not even close to what's being posted and allowed up on 4chan and 8chan. 4chan came first.
So he's saying that 4chan, first of all, he's saying it looks like an old website. That is true. It does look kind of simple, but the reality is 4chan is very simple. It's an image board. For those of you who do not know, I will explain it. It's very, very, very simple. For those of you who do not understand, it basically goes like this. Let's go to the origami board. Anybody can post an image with some text, and in that text you can talk about whatever you want as long as it has to do with the board's subject. In this case, it's about origami, so we're talking about aluminum origami. It is a hobby, it is a skill. Many people are having different discussions around origami, and inside of these posts, people can reply with either text and an image, or even just an image. I like how one of the disturbing images that he posts on this website is a clown. Because truly in 2020, clowns are a symbol of dissident thought.
8chan. 4chan came first, and it allowed users to anonymously post whatever. And that whatever...
Wrong, so darn wrong. Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't 4chan that came first. It was actually a little place called 2chan. Futaba Channel, otherwise known as 2chan, was a Japanese website. It was created to talk about anime. 4chan was inspired from 2chan. It was an Americanized, westernized version, and the anime board on 4chan was actually one of the first boards on the website. So here you can see on the Know Your Meme website, we're going to read a little bit about Futaba Channel, otherwise known as 2channel, or 2Leaf channel. It is a Japanese anonymous image board site still representing Japanese good online culture. As contrasted with 2channel, Futaba is rarely reported by commercial websites or media in inverse proportion to its interest in the Japanese internet culture. This Japanese website inspired 4chan. So here you can see down below effects on 4chan. 4chan used the same script of Futaba. The concept of an entirely anonymous and mostly self-governing web community was born from Japan's 2channel, carried over to Futaba, and subsequently carried to the US via 4chan. And that's how 4chan was born. Now 8chan is a little bit different, but it's a similar sort of tale. So this is the origin story of 8chan, and I'm here on the Know Your Meme website, because we're going to debunk CNN quite clearly, because they clearly have no idea what they're talking about, because we're clearly going to explain what these things are, where they come from, why they were around, and why CNN is lying, as usual. So here we go. History. The domain, 8chan.co, was registered by New York-based computer programmer Frederick Brennan on October 22nd, 2013. In September of 2014, 4chan founder Christopher Poole, aka Moot, and for those of you who don't know, Moot no longer owns 4chan. He's actually an ex-owner. Now Hiroshi Moot, a Japanese man, owns 4chan. So back in the day in 2014, he posted an announcement explaining why all Gamergate threads were being removed from the site, claiming it was a violation of the site's global rule: no personal information, raids, or calls to invasion. Subsequently, every thread on Gamergate was banned. Now, a lot of people believe this to be purely censorship, absolutely censorious. Gamergate was a big issue at the time, and they decided to silence it, to control it, to actually just get rid of it. And because of this, 8chan was born. You see, the reason 8chan was launched was directly because Gamergate discussions were being censored on 4chan, and people fundraised to start a brand new website where people could talk about Gamergate and talk about whatever they wanted. And so, 8chan was born. Unfortunately, it has long since been closed down.
To anonymously post whatever, and that whatever quickly became pretty much anything offensive you can think of.
Well, that's kind of what it means to have free speech. You can post whatever comes to mind. You know we have freedom of speech in this country? It's very important.
Go to the political board and you'll find racism, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, misogyny. It's all there. But
you know what else you're gonna find on 4chan? Socialism, communism, pro-LGBTQ rights. In fact, you probably don't know this, but 4chan actually has a dedicated LGBT board for people of that persuasion. These people tend to be really leftist, really woke, really progressive, and honestly a little bit creepy sometimes, but the point is, 4chan has people from every affiliation, from every political alignment, and of every type. Everyone is welcome at 4chan. Anyone can post on 4chan. So really, he's being disingenuous.
some things were too much even for 4chan, and so a new company formed a news site, and 8chan was born that promised even less moderation. They call themselves the darkest reaches of the internet, and they're not wrong.
So here you can see the false narrative, because I just explained to you why 8chan existed. It wasn't because people couldn't be violent and bigoted enough on 4chan. It was because people couldn't talk about video games. I feel like that's a really, really big difference, and something that CNN is obviously not choosing not to clarify. So I want to take a quick look at what their tabs are, and I don't know if I can get this image in enough quality to see so, but I would like to see their searches. So it looks like his little web searches are 4chan, 8chan Web Archive, The Wayback Machine, Welcome to 8chan, Welcome to 8chan, Welcome to 8chan. I don't know why he has the same tab open 3 times. And 8chan itself deletes illegal content, or they used to when they were still up, so 8chan actually violated no US laws. I feel like that's important to mention.
And for years, people on those sites said that the racism that they posted was basically just a game, where the winner is whoever posts the most offensive thing possible. Sure, there's racism, they say, but it's ironic racism, all part of what they call posting. Well, it's not a game. Here's why they're wrong.
You know, I find it hard to believe that this soy boy takes himself this seriously. Like, he mentions how a lot of the posts on 4chan are actually just shit posts, and a lot of it's ironic. You see, the problem with the left is they can't meme. They don't understand meme because memes are founded in truth. To them, even facts are bigoted. Let me explain something to you. You see, the problem with CNN and a lot of these leftist groups is that they'll take facts, they'll take criticism, they'll take shit posting, they'll take ironic shit posting, and they'll lump it all together. If someone criticizes a group, they'll say, "Oh my god, that's bigoted. How dare you have questions?" Or if they're obviously being a troll, they'll be like, "Oh my god, look at these horrible people." Because they don't realize it's trolling. CNN is foolish.
Posting. Well, it's not a game. Here's why they're wrong. If shock value is the currency of a certain strain of the internet, then think of 4chan and 8chan kind of like a central bank. They print the worst kind of hate and violence imaginable, which then gets filtered throughout the wider internet, through Reddit, through Twitter, through people like conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, who admitted in a deposition that he uses it as a, quote, source for InfoWars.
What I'm asking is, do you or do you not know 4chan was your source?
I believe it was one of the places that put it up.
Looking back, 4chan did.
So again, this is extremely disingenuous, and I don't have to be the one to tell you that CNN is lying and lying out of their face. First of all, their entire theory is that 4chan is dangerous, and that, if 4chan, a lot of bad people and bad memes come from 4chan and they spread to the internet. I didn't realize that the love of origami or LGBTQ rights, I didn't know that those would cause so much trouble by spreading through the internet. Do you understand how he's being full of it right now? And they're using this clip of Alex Jones saying 4chan was one of the places that something was put up. Well, first of all, what is that something? I think I know what it is. Let's just say a message from a criminal who posted it on 4chan, perhaps 8chan, before committing a crime. That wouldn't make 4chan itself a source per se, but again, anybody can post to 4chan. So technically, 4chan can be a source. There's nothing wrong with that, but this theory is completely nonsense. While it is true that a lot of memes do come from 4chan, a lot of memes also come from Reddit. So are you going to call Reddit a bastion of hate? Because Reddit is one of the most leftist and cucked places online. Either way, I just don't believe their argument.
Looking back, 4chan didn't start out as a white nationalist breeding ground that it's become.
It still isn't, you absolute moron. 4chan started out liberal because being a liberal used to be the counterculture, but now being a traditional conservative with down-to-earth views who believes in a good economy and family and gender roles and happiness, all of that now is counterculture. Good morals and virtues has become counterculture. So now people are no longer left-wing, they're right-wing. But according to CNN, being a conservative makes you pure evil.
It has several different channels about pages that are about art and hobbies, not all politics.
Yeah, the vast majority of 4chan is not to do with politics at all.
4chan began more than 15 years ago. It wasn't really the place that it is now. It was a place where trolls and pranksters and people who were deep into internet culture hung out.
4chan is still that today. Where have these guys been going? See, they don't understand memes. They don't understand the internet. Are there people with bigoted views online? Oh, of course. There's people with all sorts of views anywhere. But again, anybody can come to 4chan. It's not a special club. You don't have to sign up. You're anonymous. There's plenty of socialists who use 4chan. There's plenty of bleeding heart liberals who use 4chan. These people are deranged.
And as such, it was really, really influential in the development of internet culture, in the development of memes, in the development of trolling raids. Over time, the political power of the hive mind of 4chan became apparent, not only to people on the board, but to people who were coming from outside and who had different agendas.
Fear the hive mind. Fear 4chan. Nothing is beyond their reach. Do you know how cringy these guys sound? I mean, like, you're afraid of anonymous shit posters online because they have dank memes, and you don't. Well, why don't you step up your game? Oh wait, I forgot. The left can't meme.
And so, in the last, I guess, 3 or 4 years, one particular bit of 4chan has come to be largely associated with the alt-right and with white supremacy.
Go to 4chan and you'll find memes right out of Stormfront. Racist, anti-Semitic, sexist trash.
Racist into the This dude sounds like such a little pansy. Oh my god, people said that women should be drafted into the military. Oh my god, call the thought police. This is an evil misogynist. How dare he imply that women should be drafted? Oh my gosh. And you notice how he's not giving any examples? This is why people have thumbed this down so much. Because he's saying all these things, and this is what the left does. Disparage your enemies, slap a label on your enemies, make your enemies sound bad, accuse them of the worst. But he's providing zero evidence. So everything he's saying means literally nothing.
Racism for the lulz. The line between the two stops being a line. Racism is racism, white nationalism is white nationalism.
So this is the world the left wants to live in, where everyone is exactly the cartoon villain that they imagine. Look at his face. He honestly believes that people online who are obviously shitposting or making jokes, or maybe just pointing out facts, or just not being politically correct. Oh my god, it's almost like the board is called politically incorrect. How could this have happened? Oh, what a mystery. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. His little soy-powered brain is out of soy milk. The engines aren't running.
Take the OK hand symbol, the symbol that has become associated with white nationalism.
They're still falling for this troll. 4chan decided to make the OK hand symbol a fake symbol of, a fake hate symbol. But the truth is, the OK hand sign just means okay. Plenty of people use it in sports. It means nothing. The whole point of this troll was to prove that the media would get triggered over nothing. It was to expose left-wingers for being insane. And what do you know? Even now, even after they know that it was a troll to fool them in 4D chess, they still fall for it. Because they're so insane, they actually believe their own nonsense.
The Southern Poverty Law Center says that white nationalists started it, but that it gained new life on 4chan as a troll. One 4chan user said that everyone should, quote, flood Twitter and other social media websites, claiming that the OK hand sign is a symbol of white supremacy. The troll was a common 4chan tactic.
So the funniest thing about CNN and these left-wingers and Democrats, this is why I often talk about 4chan operations and what 4chan is doing. Because even if you show it to them in their very face, even if you explain that 4chan is going to troll you, this is how they're going to troll you, and this is what they're going to accomplish by trolling you, they still fall for it every single time.
Trick a gullible media and liberals into declaring something innocuous to be racist, and with each hoax that the media falls for, its credibility takes a blow. All a hoax.
Bing, bing, bing! You did it! You did it! You actually figured it out. This is what 4chan is doing. They're trolling you, triggering you, getting you to take the bait, and making you look less and less credible. But let me guess, despite knowing this, you're gonna take the bait.
A hoax, right? Flash the OK symbol. You can find it here.
First of all, that's not the OK symbol, it's the symbol for the knockout game, which is completely different. The way the game goes is if you look at someone who's making that symbol, you get to punch them. It's sort of like Made You Look.
The OK hand symbol might have started out as this ironic troll to fool a gullible media, but it ended up being displayed by the perpetrator of one of the worst hate crimes of a generation.
This dude's a moron. No, it was a troll, you were trolled, you're being trolled again. This is how insane they are. Even though they know it's a troll, it's like, oh no, it became a real symbol of hate. No, that was a troll. You fell for it. And that's your rationalization. You're rationalizing that, oh my god, it really is a hate symbol. It became a hate symbol, even though it was a troll at first. Now it's a hate symbol. No, that's you rationalizing. That's a psychological effect of someone who rationalizes their own delusion.
Whether 4chan or 8chan's trolling racism is ironic or not, it doesn't matter. It's having devastating consequences throughout the globe, are believed to have posted to 8chan before committing their slaughters. And there's nothing funny or ironic about it.
I disagree. Now, I don't believe CNN's narrative, and clearly nobody else does either. Okay, this video is mass disliked. They didn't even have the guts for comments. And this is my video response. I hope that this helps debunk CNN and all the crazy nonsense they're saying. But as we know, you can explain the truth to a left-winger, you can show it right in their face, but at the end of the day, all those lefties, they're just too dumb. They just won't believe it, and they'll fall for the trolls every single time. But that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about my video debunking CNN and just a few of their lies? I really don't buy into their narrative of 4chan is dangerous, therefore it needs to be shut down. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is about. Censorship of people they don't like, because they're jealous that they can't meme. Be sure to let me know what you think. Now, as always, if you want to support the content that I make, you can join me on Patreon or Subscribestar. There is a joining bonus if you're interested in that sort of thing. You can find more details on my Patreon or Subscribestar pages. Those links are in the description. If you want to donate, you can do so through Bitcoin. I'm looking into expanding those options. And sharing the video by posting it on social media or sharing it on social media websites also helps. Show the world how CNN is lying. Because CNN makes a lot of bold claims, but they don't really provide any proof. They use straw man arguments, and really, I think they have bad intentions. Anyways, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.